Hello and welcome everyone to today's Q&A section and also silver asset of the day as well. The first question today comes from Mimo, and this is with regard to gold price action at the moment, what we can expect over the course of this week, and also where silver is heading next as well. The gold silver ratio right now is trading approximately at 85 to 1. It's actually been breaking down in the last few days, which does suggest silver prices are going to outperform gold in the short term over certainly this session. And we're in fact seeing that at the moment with silver right back around that $17.60 per ounce level at the moment. And in the early part of the week, in fact, we are seeing gold and silver prices catch a bid after they had a fairly sizable pullback over Thursday and Friday as a result of a large stock market rally that we saw on the optimism between a US and China trade deal into the close on Friday. However, we mentioned this in a lot of detail as well on our week ahead commodity report, where we were expecting a retrace higher for both gold and silver after the fairly sizable sell-off that they had at the end of last week. Gold and silver, hedge funds and money managers have also increased their net long positions on silver in the latest week as well as gold as well. So we were expecting these to get a bid. However, I would not get too bullish at the moment for gold and silver prices for this week. I'm essentially looking for a continuation and range-bound trade again over this week, and certainly throughout October it doesn't tend to be a stellar month for gold and silver prices usually. I'm looking for more consolidation, and effectively the best way to really trade this at the moment would be to buy low on those dips. We have a position on silver at the moment right now which we executed at $16.98 per ounce. That is still moving very nicely. We have taken some partial profits off the table. We're going to let the rest of the trade run, but I suspect we're due some more range-bound trade over the course of this week. You will see behind me, effectively we have a much larger bull flag developing on silver on the daily charts, but also a bear flag as well, where if we were to break below the weekly lows, and certainly if we were to break back below Thursday and Friday's lows of last week, we may see a little bit more acceleration to the downside for silver and a move back towards a $17 level. On the flip side of that, of course, if we were to be able to see a breakout and further move, if gold can climb above 1500, which we are expecting this week, but we're not expecting a revisit of the swing highs just yet for this week. I'm looking at that later on in the month, but if silver is able to break out slightly higher, we could then have a move back towards $18 per ounce, but I'm not expecting the large breakout for this week. Other news items that you want to keep an eye out for will be, of course, the FOMC statement, which is going to be later on this month, but Brexit headline news. So last week on the optimism regarding a potential deal with Brexit, we did see the precious metals under pressure at the end of last week, and of course the pound had one of the biggest two-day moves in over 2 years, in fact, over Thursday and Friday, over a 500 pip move off the lows there. So to answer your question, what are we expecting for gold and silver prices this week? I'm looking for more range-bound trade. Now, there are opportunities to either trade from the long side, making sure that you buy low though if you're going to do that, and then making sure you're ready to take profits off the table on these breakouts back towards the upper end of the ranges that we've been discussing with you. Go back to gold asset of the day if you want to get a clearer view of what we're anticipating for this week. The opposite side would be looking to sell short at the upper end of the levels and ranges. That's what I would pay attention to over the course of this week for both gold and silver. The next question is from Thabile, and that's whether gold can hit 1,600 US dollars per ounce. First point on this is that many traders who are bullish on gold are expecting much higher prices in the short term. However, we're not. We are expecting range-bound trade over the course really of this month and also over the course this week as well. You have many traders right now that are either trapped with long positions where they've FOMO'd in and bought too high into gold at 1530 or 1550. I don't see those prices getting hit over the course of this week. You also have many traders who've become too bearish on gold. They've been selling around 1470 zone, and they are also trapped in sell shorts because of the way that the market is operating right now. So we, of course, we're constantly monitoring retail trader versus the positioning from hedge funds and money managers. That will help you to get certainly an edge in the market. So we know that hedge funds and money managers, they have increased their net longs on both gold and silver positions in the latest week, but we're still expecting this range-bound trade. As I mentioned, for this week, I'm looking at a top of gold around 1505 to 1510. I am expecting a breakout back above 1500, but not a breakout back towards towards the swing highs for this week. And it's the same on the low side as well. I would not rule out a potential retap of around the 1470 to 1475 zone for gold over the course of this week. I'm looking at just trading that range. In fact, as I mentioned, we've been building up positions again at these lower levels for gold on the sell-off that we saw on Friday. Good opportunity to pick up some longs at a discount, and we've already seen quite sizable moves to the upside, banking over 150 points on one of our positions so far, which was executed on Friday, and we continue to let the rest of those positions run. So coming back to your main question there, Theobald, which is whether gold prices can get back to 1,600 US dollars per ounce, I would say so between now and the end of the year, certainly. November tends to be a very strong month for gold prices, and certainly we also tend to see that move right at the end of December and into January as well. However, I don't see us hitting 1,600 over the course of October at the moment, unless we were to see a breakout right at the end of the month on the FOMC statement, or of course if things were not to go well with respect to Brexit and the UK comes out with a no deal, in which case I would expect gold very much to get the safe haven bid, but that won't be right until the end of October. So with that, that's been today's Q&A and silver asset of the day, and of course I wish you good trading.